This is the Dynasty Roundtable podcast. We are back tonight. We're going to discuss some of the more recent developments in Dynasty. The Dynasty gods giveth, the Dynasty gods taketh away. And then we're going to put our rankings and our process to the test tonight. We're going to do a mock draft, Dynasty Startup mock draft. So honestly haven't done a startup of any kind or any kind of draft for Dynasty since August, so it's gonna be that'll be interesting to see how that simulation plays out. But Matt Babich, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
I'm doing. I was telling you backstage, I just applied some pesticide to my house. So there's a new step in adulthood for me. It's a new adulting task that I have never done before. And I'm getting a little bit of a burning sensation right around here. So non-zero chance I got some of that pesticide where it wasn't supposed to be. It got some tall windows. I think that's a new architecture thing in home buying. They make these really long windows, which is kind of cool up until any sort of house maintenance comes into play. And then you're like, who wanted windows this big? Who asked for these tall of windows? And so I'm trying to get up into the corner. And so some of the pesticide was coming back at me, which I'm sure is not supposed to be on my skin. So we'll see if I make it through the podcast. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go blind mid podcast, just like I wish I could go blind when I see what's happening to Travis Hunter's dynasty ranking. There we go. Connection made. Kick it back to you.
All right. I didn't know if you just wanted to take it and run with it or
I
what.
didn't know where I was going with that, to be completely honest with you.
Neither do I. I never know where I'm going, but that's part of the fun around here. Travis Hunter, man, he's out for the year. It sounds like, he's doing what he's got to do to get healthy for, 2026. That's probably the right move. However, we are left with what do we do with him in Dynasty? And sometimes it takes Keep Trade Cut a second to update. Currently, he is 71st overall, wide receiver 23. He is ranked just ahead of A.J. Brown, just below, I can't believe I'm going to say it, Aronde Gadsden. That's where we are right now. And assuming he goes down, Matt Babich, because I think he's going to, right? It's our opinion, or at least it's my opinion. I think you share this opinion that he's already ranked way too low. If he's not the biggest screaming buy in Dynasty right now, I don't know who is. But I'm honestly looking at some of these names, and I'm seeing Jordan Addison, Javonte Williams, Zay Flowers. You go down a little bit further, Chase Brown, RJ Harvey. If J.K. Dobbins goes on the IR, which some people think that's going to happen, RJ Harvey is going to shoot up these rankings. All these rookies need is this opportunity or this, RJ Harvey probably doesn't even need to produce. We just need to see him get a bunch of touches, and then he'll still shoot up the rankings. But RJ Harvey's at 78, Michael Penix is at 81, Michael Pittman, Xavier Worthy. If he gets, I think there's a realistic chance that he's ranked around players like in the 80s on Keep Trade Cut. And I don't know, man. I already think he's ranked too low. And if you're telling me that there's a world that exists where I can trade away Michael Pittman or Ricky Pearsall or DK Metcalf and get Travis Hunter straight up, even though I know I got to wait a year, I'm doing that 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, we've gotten to a point where, the breakout had happened, Seth.
Yeah.
We saw it. It's not like we didn't see it, right? It would be a completely different conversation if we entered this recording right now, this injury status, with no breakout game. But we saw the high usage, the breakout game, the slot roll, everything that we had been talking about, where we wanted to see it come to fruition, and we did. And then he's out for the season with a knee injury. And yet I understand maybe the value not increasing after the breakout game with no availability. I understand that. I even understand maybe a slight dip, although I would still be buying that dip. We've been buying since the beginning of time for Travis Hunter. But to continue to fall, and I'm sure we haven't seen the crater. There's a lot of football to be played. Travis Hunter's name you won't be seeing him in shorts or anything like that until maybe minicamp, if we're lucky. I don't know what I'm not in a mental state to be doing that quick of math to see where the 9 months puts us at, but it seems like, it'll be a push to get there to week 1. He'll probably be out the first few weeks, the first 1, 2, 3 weeks of the season at this rate. 9 months is what, August, basically?
Yeah. It was an LCL. I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it is pretty late in the season, so I think that's warranted. You're having surgery in week 10, week 11.
But we're going to go the whole rookie cycle without seeing a highlight or seeing a clip.
Yeah, and do you think he's going to be one of these players that, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine that a player like Travis Hunter gets forgotten about, like gets lost in this rookie shuffle. If this were a better 2026 class, which I've been doing a little bit of digging into the 2026 class, and so far I'm not so impressed with it, but we'll see. I'm sure we can find some gems once we get into the rookie content, and that's coming, people. So like and subscribe. I don't. I just find it very hard to believe that his current value is 71, and he's up 3 spots according to Keep Trade Cut. And like I said, I know Keep Trade Cut doesn't update right away, but man, if he falls into the 80s, I think it's hard for me to believe that that's his actual value in a league. You know what I mean? Like, Keep Trade Cut's a good barometer for us to kind of look at, but I guarantee you come startup season next year, he's going to be like a 3rd, 4th round pick, I would imagine. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll slip to the 5th or 6th. But I mean, he's young. He has the draft capital. I know he has the defense thing, but like you said, we were seeing what the usage in the role was going to be in the offense. And BTJ, we had trade rumors with BTJ, so that situation's kind of weird. I don't know, man. This fantasy season's been it's been rough, man, for me with Malik Neighbors and now Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, my highest owned player on Underdog Fantasy, by the way. So that really hurts. But anyway, should we move on to better things, perhaps, or do you have any final words on Travis Hunter?
No, I'm definitely ready for the better here.
All right, I have one question for you, Matt Babich. Did TreVeyon Henderson burst out of the genie bottle, and will he not be put back in the genie bottle?
So far out of the bottle, the genie
he better be.
The genie
he better be. Mike Vrabel, I'm looking at you. Mike Vrabel, he's out of the bottle. You idiot. He's out of the bottle. Don't put Ramondre Stevenson back there again, please.
Yeah, and Ramondre, buddy, from a fan. Unbiased opinion, I think you just need to take, just ensure Thursday, don't come, make sure you're healthy. We're winning the division. We got a multi-game lead over the Bills. And we got to make sure we keep that. We need you for December, for January, maybe for February, probably not for February. But my point is, let's give TreVeyon the keys just for another week without you. Just take a week off, relax, because, oh my God, it's like if we used him from the beginning. I don't know. I'm not going to go too crazy with it, actually, just because I think there were a lot of real football reasons why he wasn't seeing the field. He was missing a lot of pass blocking assignments. He caused quite a few sacks for Drake May. They were holding penalties too in crucial downs. And so he was killing some drives with that. He wasn't fumbling the football. A lot of the in between the tackles inefficiencies wasn't his fault. But even from week 1, it was evident when he touched the ball, it felt like any carry he could break for 10 or 20 yards. Any single one could pop for 10 or 20 yards. He's a better pass catcher. He's gotten a better hold of the blocking and not holding. So he's less of a liability there. I don't think it should have taken this long, but I do understand why it did take so long. So I will. It's frustrating from the fantasy perspective, but there's always a real world aspect to this. So I've taken a reasoned stance with TreVeyon Henderson, but the point is now, if you didn't have TreVeyon Henderson beforehand, you're almost mad that this happened. Because it's not like he had a 100-yard rushing game, looked good, but nothing crazy. 2 50-plus yard touchdowns. Over 100 yards on 14 carries. 2 touchdowns. Your buy window may already be closed.
Yeah, I think it is. And if we look at TreVeyon Henderson on Keep Trade Cut, he's at player 51. Again, I think that he's going to go up. I mean, that's not his real value right now, I don't think. So Keep Trade Cut is going to have it's going to update here soon, I would imagine, within the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll see. We are recording this on a Tuesday, November 11th. So I would imagine he, just with that one performance alone, I think it probably boosts him up to the, I mean, I would take him over Bucky Irving at this point. I don't know what the hell's going on with Bucky Irving, but I think he would be kind of in that James Cook range, don't you think? Maybe a little bit below that. That's kind of where I would guess, around RB9, RB10, something like that.
Yeah, that feels right.
So maybe with Breece Hall, who's at 48, RB12 is fair, somewhere in that range. Because right now,
you got to put him above Bucky Irving. I'm sorry, you got to do it.
Yeah, well, Bucky Irving's way overrated on Keep Trade Cut, in my opinion. RB9, player 38 overall. So yeah, I mean, we might not see Bucky again for the rest of the season. I don't know what. Like I said, that's one of the weirder injury situations out there. And
teams got to stop with this shit of this week to week crap for these players who quite obviously are not going to play. They're doing it for Bucky. They're doing it for Chris Godwin.
Don't Niners get me started on the Niners. That's what I was going to say. The Niners.
The Brock Purdy stuff has infuriated me. Brother, he's not playing this week. He's not playing last week. He's not playing next week. I don't understand. It's all to do this tactical advantage, like who maybe he'll play.
Well, I mean, in fairness to the Niners, I guess if I'm going to give them any credit, I mean, Mac Jones is playing pretty well. So
Purdy well,
yeah. Well, so why would you rush Purdy back if you're not going to get much of an upgrade with Purdy? I mean, I don't know. That's a whole
like 6-7 weeks. Why was he not on the IR?
Yeah,
they knew 100% there was no shot he was playing within that 4-week span, especially after he came back to practice, played a little bit and then couldn't keep going. They knew he was going to miss another 4 games, but they're doing this same crap with Christian McCaffrey. They're trying to gain small edges by, making teams. I don't know what teams do. Do they prepare for both Mac Jones and Brock Purdy, or do they just say, F it? If it's Purdy, it's Purdy. We're going to prepare for Mac Jones.
I mean, I don't know, man.
How does the game plan really change that much?
I don't know. I would say Purdy's maybe a little bit more mobile, but
a little bit more mobile. They'll run a QB draw in the red zone.
Yeah, and getting back to TreVeyon Henderson for a second. TreVeyon Henderson, he only got 1 target in the game, and I felt like that was one of his strengths as a pass catcher. So he hasn't really even tapped into that yet. And like you said, 2 breakaway touchdown runs. Granted, the offensive line did play really well, but that's what TreVeyon Henderson is. He's a home run hitter. You don't get that with Ramondre Stevenson. You just don't. And the fact that it's taken him this long, let's face it, a Ramondre Stevenson injury, it's not the same, but it is similar to the way the Lions handled Jahmyr Gibbs, if you remember. Now, it didn't take this long, but it did take a David Montgomery injury for him to completely just break out of the proverbial bottle, the genie bottle. So let's hope, for everybody's sake, that Mike Vrabel doesn't decide to just put Ramondre Stevenson back there for 60% of the snaps or whatever when he gets healthy. I don't know how you do that if you want to win football games, but they've been winning football games without him, I suppose. So who knows? But any other final thoughts before we get into this mock draft?
Let's get
startup?
into it.
All right, we are going to be using the Fantasy Pros Draft Wizard. These are the settings here, and I will zoom in. So this is a Dynasty Snake 12 team. We can randomize our position. Here, we'll do that real quick. So we are going to be picking 9th, 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flexes. And if I'm doing my math right, that is start 10 with 10 bench spots. We're going to draft against all the experts. Everything's normal. This looks good to me. Does it look good to you?
Let's do it.
All right. And we're going to be running one team here. So let's go to the draft board. For the podcast audience, I'm going to zoom in a little bit if I can. All right. So for the podcast audience, at the 101, we have Lamar Jackson. At the 102, Jaden Daniels. At the 103, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Drake May at the 106. Who doggy? Joe Burrow, and then Bijan Robinson. So Matt Babich, we are at the 109. This is a Dynasty Startup 2 quarterback league or Superflex or whatever you want to say. It kind of looks like wide receivers the play here, don't you think?
I mean, maybe there's four receivers and Gibbs that I like here, and then we have 6 picks with Herbert in there. We don't have a 3rd round reversal, which I'm factoring in here. The pick's Herbert here for me, but I don't know about you.
Yeah, I don't think we could go Jefferson. I would fight for either Chase or Puka. But I don't hate the Herbert pick. If you
want to go, here's for the episode. Do we want to go contrarian 2 QB start and take Herbert, or do we want to try and shake it up and see what happens when you don't take QB early, as is generally more atypical?
So let's think about this for a second. So this room right here, and again, we're only through 8 picks. It kind of looks like a quarterback heavy room, don't you think? And again, I get it. People are going to make fun of me. People are going to make fun of me.
I don't know how the algorithm here
the
works.
simulator. Yeah. But so if we were, so we're going to try to treat this like an actual draft room. So it looks like people are just going nuts for quarterback. And so basically we presented the 2 options. Like, do we take the best wide receiver, which is probably what I would do. You would probably lean Herbert. But you could talk me into Herbert because this, getting your quarterback's never a bad idea. So why don't we just do that? Why don't we just get Justin Herbert and see what happens? Sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we go Herbert, and then predictably, I think we got a gift here.
That's this was the perfect run.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We needed 2 people that weren't, that were outside of the 14 rank here with Gibbs and Lamb.
So we go Herbert, then Chase immediately goes after us. Jefferson, Puka Nacua, Bo Nix, first pick in the 2nd round, then JSN, then Brock Bowers. I mean, take our pick between CeeDee Lamb, Jahmyr Gibbs. I would fight for Malik Neighbors here, but I don't really think we can go wrong. I definitely don't think it's a quarterback right now. But what do you think?
I would go for either Gibbs or in a standard draft. We got to think about, CD a little bit. in terms of age regression and being with George Pickens there. I think I lean Gibbs here because that still gives us a lot of flexibility, especially in a format where we can't trade, to where Herbert and Gibbs, that can be a rebuild or like a soft rebuild or a win now team. It's a little bit harder to pull off a soft rebuild with CD. That's where Malik Neighbors comes into play. Is he a multi-ligament injury? Like, are we super confident he's going to be back by like week 4 playing at 100% health?
I mean, he's young and he was hurt early in the season, so I would assume he's back. I was producing a show with Deepak Chona. Not that I'm like special or anything, but and he seemed optimistic, at least from what I remember, that Neighbors would be ready at the start of next season. From what I remember, I don't want to misquote Deepak, but I don't know, man. I'm fine with Gibbs. I'll capitulate.
I'll defer to you. You took Herbert last round, so I'll defer to you.
Let's go Gibbs. I'm cool with that. And it looks like we made a good choice because we have some running backs coming off the board. So Neighbors does go the pick right after us. CeeDee Lamb, Jonathan Taylor, Jackson Dart. Wow.
208. Wow.
Jackson Dart. Like, I think Jackson Dart, like that could have been, I could have made the argument for Jackson Dart there for sure. Ashton Genty, Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Devon Chain, Nico Collins, Trey McBride, James Cook, Tedero McMillan, Jordan Love, Saquon Barkley, all come on off the board. Man, our boy is staring us right in the face.
For me, it's him or Egbuka.
I would probably, I don't think you can go wrong. I'd probably lean Egbuka just because he's younger, and I think the offense is just as good or better. So that would be my pick.
He wins in more phases of the field. I think it's more a bet on Baker Mayfield's long-term health.
Mm-hmm.
And
like Baker's only 30.
Status. He's only 30. I was thinking he was 33 for some reason.
Let me confirm that. I'm pretty sure.
I guess that would make sense. He was drafted 2019.
Yeah, he's 30 years old. So he'll be around
for
a while.
I'm good with Egbuka.
All right, let's go Egbuka. And then hopefully we'll see if the draft gives us another gift. That'd be great. Oh, it did.
It did.
So Amarian Hampton, Baker, Kyler Murray. Oh, there's no way Kyler Murray goes in the 3rd round, but you never know in a dynasty startup. Brian Thomas. I think Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's not going in the 4th round. Sorry. I mean, Garrett Wilson. So is this a pretty obvious Rashee Rice pick? Or, I mean, you can make the case for Ladd McConkey too and Rome, but I think it's Rashee all day long. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's obvious.
And just scrolling down, I mean, I am not a fan of taking tight end early. I know in this draft seems to follow that. I would bet you if this were, because this is not tight end premium. I don't think there's a setting for that in the draft simulator, but I would bet you that tight ends would go higher, especially like I could see Bowers sneaking into the 1st round, and I could see Trey McBride being a 2nd round pick in Dynasty, which honestly, I don't agree with that process, but it is what it is because I tend to like to go cheaper with tight end, which is probably what we're going to do. But Rashee Rice is going to be the pick here. So I like our start. And
love our start, dude. This is becoming unrealistic. Quinshon Judkins right here at the 5'10. Like, we're getting the best team of all time. We're not taking Judkins. All right, he's off the board. We're pretending that someone made a better pick.
Can we edit this here? Let's select a player. Cinnamon roll selected here. Can I make Quinshon the pick before us so we can't get
Amon Ra? That's good.
There we go. All right. Hey, look at that. See? It happened. So Breece Hall goes the pick after we take Rashee, AJ Brown, Daniel Jones, Josh Jacobs, George Pickens, Bucky Irving. I'm noticing that the quarterbacks kind of just stopped, which I don't know if that would I guess so, maybe, but because we still have some decent quarterback options available, like Dak, I guess
for
Dak
a
was
couple of rounds. It
technically the
should pick
pick.
up in the 6th and 7th again.
Yeah, so Rome, Ladd, McCaffrey, Marvin Harrison Jr., Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, Travis Hunter. Ooh, that would have been an interesting discussion. Kyron Williams, Quinshon Judkins. See, that's about where I think Travis Hunter would go. I think that range is about right.
Yeah.
I think he could go a little bit earlier than that. I think if Rashee Rice wasn't there at the 404, I might have made the push for Travis Hunter. But yeah, I don't think you could take Travis Hunter over Rashee Rice or even Ladd McConkey or maybe even Roma Dunze at this point. So we are sitting here at the 509. We gave back, like we casted or we threw the fish Quinshon Judkins back into the lake. And so now we have a choice to make. Dak Prescott is on the board. Tyler Warren is on the board. And I know I just gave a whole soliloquy about how I don't like tight ends. There's some other quarterbacks like Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy. We also have DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle at wide receiver, Kenneth Walker. Man, Kenneth Walker would fall big time in Dynasty startups.
Oh, yeah.
I think. There's not really a player. I mean, RJ Harvey, TreVeyon Henderson, there's our boy. That's probably my favorite pick.
I think we take advantage of, if we're going to play this like a real draft room, we take advantage of the ADP and the standings, and we say to ourselves, there's probably a good chance that TreVeyon Henderson comes back around to us.
You think so?
Why not? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We're at 80, and then, you got to scroll up quite a bit.
Okay.
To get up to where we're at. I think it's either Dak or Tyler Warren. You could convince me to do some sort of all out onslaught on our skill positions and then wait for QB2. Conversely, get a locked and loaded QB2. We have a young lineup right now to where we could pivot pretty easily by trading Dak to a contender if we had to next season. But then we also lock in, a top 5 quarterback every week. Top 5 potential every week in Dak Prescott for the next couple of seasons. I think that's, pretty tasty to me. But if you want to take a guy like Warren, who should probably be maybe closer to a 4th round pick, then I'd be fine with that as well.
I am absolutely going to take the quarterback over the tight end every single time. So and I think Dak is actually a relatively safe pick in Dynasty because he's only 32 years old. I think he's going to be a quarterback in this league for at least the next 4 or 5 years. And I think he's playing some of his best football this year. Like, he's being forced into these just insane shootouts, and I think he's playing really well. He's 10th in fantasy points per game and the quarterback 9 overall, according to Player Profiler. So getting him at this stage in the game feels really good. And I think that's probably what I would do. Any objection to that?
Nope.
All right, we're going to pull the trigger on Dak. After we take Dak, Trevor Lawrence, RJ Harvey, Chase Brown. You were right, you son of a gun, you. DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle, Tyler Warren. This kind of feels unrealistic to me too, but I would be sprinting to the podium to take TreVeyon Henderson.
We can control what we can control.
Yeah. Like, none of these receivers really speak to me. There's no way in hell I'm taking Kenneth Walker or Derrick Henry over Henderson at this point. Scadabo's coming off an injury. Yeah, I think it's Henderson. So we take TreVeyon. Then J.J. McCarthy, Devonta Smith, Jordan Addison, Cortland Sutton, Ricky Pearsall. I don't think that would happen. DJ Moore, Javonte Williams, Sam Laporta, Chris Olave, Tucker Kraft, Devontae Adams, Jared Goff, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, Terry McLaurin, and Michael Pittman, all off the board. So, again, Matt Babich, we have a choice here. We could just nail down our quarterback 3 and be boring, because I do like some of these quarterback 3 options. There's a wide receiver with a lot of upside, and Jameson Williams on the board.
Stop it. What are you? You are suggesting we draft Jameson Williams in the big 2025 in Dynasty? Get a grip.
All right, we're not drafting Jameson Williams. I'm just saying, like in the 7th round, might maybe better in best ball if this was a best ball league. I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like Cam Scatabo is a pretty big value here, or am I tripping?
Yeah, it's another one of those players where I'm not 100% sure he'd still be here.
I would give it to
Like
Cinnamon Roll.
Like
Here,
popularity alone.
There's no way. I'm calling another audible here, and I'm saying there's no way that Cam Scatabo would be taken ahead of, or there's no way Terry McLaurin would be taken above Cam Scatabo. So I made that switch. So Cam Scatabo off the board. He's off the table now. I making it more difficult on us. So does that change your opinion on Jameson Williams? Just kidding.
It does not. Thank you for asking.
I figured it wouldn't. But doesn't it? I mean, Trey Benson's interesting. That seems a little bit early for him.
A little bit early for Trey Benson. I don't hate that QB3 route that you're talking about right now, and just take the value that's on the board.
Yeah,
which I think you and I would agree would be. I mean, Oronde Gadsden in the 7th right now isn't the worst either. It's a lot to take in that he's all the way up there.
I in good conscience, I don't think
I know. I think it's going to be time to eventually talk about him having that kind of value if he keeps this up for the rest of the season. But like Fannin, Loveland, Kittle, I think I'm Kittle, Loveland, Gadsden, Fannin in that conversation. Gadsden over Loveland, probably.
Yeah, I
know you want to take Darnold.
I do.
I do too. Yeah, I'm good with that. I was just presenting a counter case for the,
because Darnold's going to be a safe quarterback 3 option, and we already have a couple of upside plays, in my opinion, at quarterback. And when you start to look at these quarterbacks, once we get past Sam Darnold, Cam Ward, which I don't even know how much I believe in Cam Ward. I know he's had like the worst situation you could possibly hope for. So
I know
maybe it gets better.
I don't want to take the chance right now. By the time we need a quarterback, we can just draft another one.
Yeah, I think that this is the time that we strike on our quarterback 3, and that is Sam Darnold.
And I have a nefarious plan now that we have Darnold. So just stay tuned for that.
So we take Darnold. Cam Ward goes the pick after. We take Darnold, Jameson Williams, Terry McLaurin, TJ Hawkinson, Travis Etienne, and Colston Loveland.
Oh, so why aren't we talking about Gadsden with Herbert, by the way?
Just on principle. I understand.
What principle? Not drafting good players?
Is he the locked in tight end there? Can you tell me that definitively? And this is coming from the guy who was pumping up Gadsden the whole time, which I didn't. I'm not one of these people that takes a victory lap. Maybe I should be. I get more.
Yeah, you're in like the conductor of capitulating station right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at capitulate, but it's the value of it. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm looking at some of these other options and I'm not loving what I'm seeing here. I'd probably be a fan of Trey Benson here, or
scroll up for
I just think some of these,
we're in a pretty dangerous receiver spot right now.
I do. Luther Burden is pretty tasty too.
I could do that.
Is that a good compromise, Luther Burden?
We could compromise on Luther Burden. I think it's going to be questionable for us to take Herbert and not try and get a single one of his assets alongside of him. But
yeah, well, it's tough. It's tough to get we could go Trey Harris later. Let's also think about
we might get Quentin Johnson on the background or on the back end too if that's what we want to go with.
Let's also think about our build here, because I feel like we're pretty flexible, because we have our quarterbacks. Our 3 quarterbacks are locked in. We have 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. We don't have a tight end, but we're really young. Rashee Rice is 25 years old. He's our oldest skill player. So, taking Luther Burden would put us down the more of a rebuild approach, but I don't think it necessarily pigeonholes us into that.
Not necessarily. I feel like that's a pessimistic look for Luther Burden.
Yeah, and I think Luther Burden is just what I've seen.
I think it's a luxury pick for us, if anything. We have a really good core. Why not take a shot on a second round pick with a lot of upside going into years 2 who has a deflated? I mean, think of what would happen if, let's say, DJ Moore went down with an injury 3 weeks ago and Luther Burden was playing in a full-time role, had a chance to have a breakout game maybe. I mean, he'd be somebody we may not even get here at the 804.
Yeah. I think Luther Burden is a good pick.
Let's do.
I'm going to pull the trigger on Luther Burden. And did Gadsden not get picked? He did not.
I don't think that's. I will say, if we let the whole season go by and Gadsden doesn't finish as like the top 5 tight end or something, if he cools off a little bit, I don't think it's necessarily going to be unheard of. But no shot, Caleb Johnson is a ninth round pick right now.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
So if we want to try and get a little bit more realistic, we can flip Gadsden for Caleb Johnson and or Harold Fannin, one of the two. I feel like one of those two is going to be gone by the 9th round.
Yeah, let's do that. And I'll let the people know what happened here on the podcast side.
It's
so
probably
we swap that out. So we take Luther Burden at the 804. Mike Evans goes the pick after, then Chuba Hubbard. Man, he wouldn't. I'll leave that one, but that's also not accurate.
Yeah, we can't fix all of these, but
yeah, that's part of the problem when you're using a simulator in mid-season. But anyway, we're doing the best we can here, people. DeAndre Swift, Dalton Kincaid, Jalen Warren, Mark Andrews, Trey Benson, Michael Penix, George Kittle, Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, Jake Ferguson, Debo, Khalil Shakir, Oronde Gadsden, Justin Fields, and now we are back up at the 909. And that was my one thing with Oronde Gadsden is there were some other tight end options. Like I know Dalton Kincaid has the hamstring and he plays on the Bills. So week to week, you really aren't sure what they're doing. But like if I was going to go the tight end route, I probably would have preferred somebody like Ferguson, even though it's boring. We have Dak.
I mean, with Dak, yeah, that would have been nice.
Not that you have to stack in Dynasty, but
no.
Like so we're getting it's pretty what slim pickings here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love Quentin Johnston here. I don't like Diggs.
How do you feel about Woody Marks?
I'm good with. I like Woody Marks. Do we know what happened to him with his injury?
I'm not privy to the update.
He started limping. He started okay, it says could have been worse. Appears on the injury report. Okay, so for a second, and we probably would have already heard about this, but when he was limping off, I saw the video of him. He was limping off, and then he dropped to the ground and reached for the back of his leg. And so I was like, oh God, did Woody Marks just tear his Achilles? But I think we probably would have heard that already if that was the case. It doesn't look he was limited on Thursday. Wait, that can't be right. This is an old article.
This was last week.
Regardless, I don't think he's out for the season. So yes, I'm good with Woody Marks here. I think he should be closer to where Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is.
Okay, I'm scrolling right
now. Sorry
now.
for that run around and scare, but I just remember seeing that, remembering I wanted to check in on his injury and then forgetting to check in.
Yeah, because I don't know. I think Nick Chubb was kind of banged up heading into this game, but if you look at the snaps for this last game against Jacksonville, it wasn't close. Woody Marks played on 60 of 75 snaps, 27 of 49 routes run, 3 targets, 14 carries to Nick Chubb, 10 total snaps for Nick Chubb, 5 carries.
He has a good shot to be the RB1 for this team next year. He's performed well. The offense itself just hasn't. So it's hard for a running back to get going, on a team with no offensive line and no passing game.
Yeah, and these wide receiver options just don't.
It's disgusting. It's seriously disgusting.
Matthew Golden, Brandon Ayuk, Quentin Johnston, Chris Godwin, Jacoby Myers. I mean, that's interesting with Jacksonville, but for the future, I wonder with Travis Hunter and BTJ, and he's a free agent next year, so I wonder if they even really sign him. Jaden Higgins too would
I just
be,
think it's a little early, but I do like Jaden Higgins.
yeah. But I feel like a lot of these names are in the same bucket for me. Why don't we just go ahead and take?
What happens with Rico Dowdle? Like, is he going to be the start, like a bell cow for the? Is he going to be next year's Chuba Hubbard, and we just have to play this game all over again? But like, if
I
he's going to
don't.
be a bell cow next year, he kind of feels like, I'm not saying we have to go that route, but he feels like maybe a slam dunk pick for a team that could be win now and has a potential couple of luxury picks to utilize.
Yeah. So Rico Dowdle's 27 years old.
That's the big issue, is that he's going into his
Yeah.
age 28 season without a lot to
Yeah.
really boast. So again, it's something that's interesting to me is like, if you're doing a dynasty startup, could you potentially get an insane value again on Rico Dowdle going into next year? But the safer pick here for us is Woody.
All right. I'm gonna go Woody, and also unrestricted free agent next year as well. So his future's kind of up in the air. I don't know. I would assume, like, he's playing so well. I don't know why Carolina wouldn't
They're
bring
going
him
to
back.
draft somebody again.
Yeah,
They're going to draft somebody again in the fourth round.
Yeah, and even though this isn't the best running back class, or
Yeah,
certainly
probably not
not
the
as good
third
as
round.
last year. Okay, so we take Woody. Bill goes next. Ja'Cory Krusky Merritt, then Brandon Ayuk, then David Montgomery, then David Njoku, Caleb Johnson, Matthew Golden. So a lot of these pukey wide receivers are still here. We are like completely symmetrical. Three running backs, 3 wide receivers, 3 quarterbacks. We just don't have any tight ends. Fannin is there.
I'm Fannin, Johnston, or Higgins here.
Fannin, Johnston, or Higgins. Okay, let me look up. I know
Quentin's not as interesting to me with what's happened, and then Trey Harris coming in the ranks. It all kind of scares me. He's a nice value this year. I'll victory lap on that, but
so David Njoku's contract's kind of weird in the sense that it has multiple void years on it, but he is technically an unrestricted free agent.
He's still
in
getting
2026.
still getting like 8 targets a game with Njoku in. I don't know if Njoku like totally tanks Fannin's upside necessarily. And like, we got to go tight end soon. We're getting to the dog days.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have to do it now, but like Goddard's the firewall, right? Where we start really missing out on production here. Like, I could go Goddard and then like an Arroyo, given our Seattle, and then like Theo Johnston later. So we don't have to do Fannin now, but I think it's time we start thinking about it. We could definitely go.
I'm finding some faulty.
Yeah, let's go Higgins. Screw it. Let's go Higgins.
I think I'm all.
I think we're comfortable with what's there at tight end and running back right now.
You're gonna, and so somebody might be screaming at us if you made it this far in the video. Thank you. Click the like button, subscribe if you like it, if you want more of it. You might be screaming at us like, this is unrealistic. This is a simulation. Well, like, I've been in at least 25 dynasty startups, and the amount of picks that have happened in those startups where I call my friends and say, can you believe that somebody took this person over that person? It happens all the time. So these simulations, like, they're not perfect, but they're fun to do. And we'll see. Like, if you guys hate this, then we might not do it again. And we'll certainly do some more startups where we have actual live people in the startup. But Jaden Higgins here, man, is a great value pick. So let's do that. So we are through 10 rounds. I'll recap the team here, and then we have 10 more picks to make. So we might have to go rapid fire with these next 10. So we go Jaden Higgins, then Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, Zach Charbonnet, J.K. Dobbins, Dallas Goedert, Tony Pollard, Stephon Diggs, Rico Dowdle, Bashul Tootin, who was another person that was on my list because Travis Etienne's an unrestricted free agent. Then Tyrone Tracy, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Keenan Allen, Tajay Spears, Joe Mixon, and Ramondre Stevenson. Gosh, these wide receivers are still sticking around. We still got Quentin Johnston, Jacoby Myers, Jerry Jeudy, Wan'Dale Robinson, like a bunch of pukey guys. I mean, we could go Trey Harris or Jalen Noel. I mean, we also still have some quarterbacks if we wanted to just take the value. Like, I don't know, but what happens to Bryce Young? Is he the Panthers starter in 2026? I would think so, given their record right now and
It's a
the
sinking
quarterback
ship.
class. Yes, it is, and losing to the Saints at home is not great. How long does Stafford play? Tua? There's just a
So
lot of
my
quarterbacks.
nefarious plan was to get Jalen Milroe as our QB4 and an insurance option with Sam Darnold. But that'd be a while from now. We would probably even take another quarterback before that and maybe have him be our QB5 or something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, what are you thinking here? I mean, you can convince me of a
Fannin is
lot of
still
things
there.
here.
Fannin
Let's
is
just take
still there.
Fannin.
Like that seems like
we should, yeah.
I mean, there's a chance they move on from Njoku, and then their quarterback situation literally has to get better. As much as I love Dylan Gabriel, he doesn't look like the guy. So yeah, let's go. And they would be stupid. They would be just stupid to fire Kevin Stefanski, even though that might happen. So Isaiah Pacheco, Rashad White, James Conner, Tank Bigsby, Tyler Algier, Dylan Sampson. You're chortling over there.
I just thought it was funny that 6 more running backs went.
Yeah, so we still have these wide receivers here, man. It's crazy. And at this point, like, you could talk me into Quentin Johnston, like I would have, or Trey Harris. Because Keenan Allen's going to go away, and that's going to open up opportunity. You would think.
At this point, I mean, we shouldn't take Harris over Johnston, in my opinion. Harris has done nothing. Yeah. We've seen receivers in the second round. We've seen those types of picks get burnt like wildfire. Like, I'm not saying he's a bust and abandoned ship or anything, but it seems like we can probably get Harris in like the 14th if we really wanted to try and just like cut bait with one of them if they really don't pan out. So I'm good with Johnston here. I could do even Jacoby Myers, even though it's a bit more risky. Shaheed is a similar way. I think he has a lot of upside. I think he's a talented player, but he's like 27 years old, unrestricted free agent, and now on a new team. He is in Seattle, but we don't know if they're going to re-sign him. So I'll default to you here.
I like Quentin Johnston. It feels like he's still just 24 years old. He's going to be with the Chargers through at least 2026. So he's going to be on the team for another year. We know Keenan Allen's probably going away unless they sign him to a short-term deal. And he's probably going to be with the team through 2027, I would imagine. And he seems like a really good schematic fit for that team. So let's go with Quentin, and we get the added bonus of pairing him up with Justin Herbert. So we go Quentin Johnston, Ollie Gordon, Brian Robinson, Blake Corum, Wan'Dale Robinson. Trey Harris does go in the 12th round, a little bit earlier than I thought he would go. That's okay. Najee Harris, Jerry Jeudy, Braylon Allen, Jaden Blue. Wow. Ray Davis, Roshan Johnson in the 13th round. Give me a fucking break. Chris Godwin, Nick Chubb, Will Shipley, Calvin Ridley, Jerome Ford. So if I swap out Roshan for, I don't know, anybody else,
Bryce Young, I guess, I don't know, Jacoby Myers.
Will he just get picked like the next after our pick? I don't know. That's
I don't know how it.
Cinnamon took him. Cinnamon just took him. Okay, so yeah, obviously nobody in their right mind would take Roshan Johnson in a dynasty startup right now. At least I don't think so. Definitely not over the options on the board.
I mean, we can take the young guy if you want.
Yeah, they're taking him over Banung guy. This is where the simulation's falling apart. I just gave him Stafford. I don't even know if he needs a quarter. He does need a quarterback 3. What is wrong with the Cinnamon guy? What is wrong with this simulation? You want Manon guy here? There's no way Manon guy's falling. Let's just build.
It's unrealistic, but team. We're running out of time, and
can't search. Hold on, I gotta go.
Running back though, yeah.
Manon guy. Ooh, Kamani Vidal, but Manon guy's the pick. Why did I just go? Ooh, Kamani Vidal. Johnson, we can't. Roschon's just gonna keep popping up
Yeah,
here.
I mean,
Bryce
he's
Young, Jerome Ford, Roschon. Oh my God, Roschon bounced back in 2026. Tua Tagovailoa does go in the 14th round. Austin Eckler, Alec Manor. I think that's a nice little sneaky pick there.
Yep.
What are your thoughts here? We have. I mean, we could go in just about any direction, because we have 3, 4, 5 wide receivers, 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. We have our quarterbacks. We have a tight end. I mean, I could make a case for either one of these tight ends at the top of the board. I like Jalen Noel for the future. So what are you thinking here?
Yeah, Noel stands out. You could convince me on
Alec Pierce is still available.
maybe. Honestly, like I'm
Kyle
gonna be in the
Williams.
minority here. Kyle Williams is actually somebody who we could definitely take a look at. I think, or Adonai Mitchell, even on the Jets, a fresh
Yep.
start there. I really do think Shaheed is going to stay in Seattle. I understand that's a risk, but I think we go with one of these receivers here. I really don't like Pitts. Taylor, I like. I just don't know what that quarterback situation is going to be like, and I don't think he's a guy that's going to outproduce a bad quarterback situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm leaning receiver, and I could pretty much go with any of the guys that we talked about.
Yeah, the youth option would be Jalen Noel. If we're looking for production right away, then I think the option would either be probably Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, I don't think we don't need youth right now necessarily.
Yeah, like I don't know if you can
Johnston's like 22.
Yeah, Johnson's 24. Higgins is
24.
23, I think.
We still don't have a receiver over 24 years old. Is my point.
Yeah. But I do think this could. I mean, if things break right, I would characterize this as like a middle of the road. This could be a contender if things shake out right. Like if Luther Bird, like this is this is our style of team. This is highly youthful and you could argue highly volatile too. But let's get some stability, and Noel's probably the value pick. That's probably what I would do.
Is Shaheed stable, or is Jennings stable in San Francisco?
Let me just look.
Pearsall, Ayuk. I mean, Kittle's closer to on the way out than on the way in, certainly. But
yeah, I'm.
I don't want to waffle
Jennings,
on our 14th
28.
round mock pick too much, but
yeah, Jennings. There's some void years here on his contract. He is an unrestricted free agent next year.
Let's do Shaheed.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. If you're cool with that, Rashid Shaheed in the 14th. Then we have Cedric Tillman, Evan Ingram, Keon Coleman, Alec Pierce. Damn. I was really hoping. No, I'm just kidding. Aaron Rodgers, Justice Hill, Romeo Dobbs, Juwan Jennings, Geno Smith, Kyle Pitts, Isaac Guerrero, Jalen Noel, Isaiah Likely, Kendre Miller, DJ Giddens, Kareem Hunt. Let's go rapid fire with these next.
Yeah, I like Mason Taylor or Arroyo here. Or go back to one of our receivers that we talked about.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I like Taylor. So we could take Taylor as our tight end too. So we go Mason Taylor, Pat Bryant, Chris Rodriguez, Jack Best, Jalen Wright.
Can we quick see the best running backs available?
Yes, we can. Kamani Vidal, Brashard Smith, our boy Brashard Smith.
I mean, I don't mind having the backup in Vidal with LA.
Yeah, I like that. Let's just see what else is on the board here. Would you take him over these receivers here, like over Booty? How do you feel about Booty?
I like Booty. I think Kyle Williams is still on the board.
Yes, he is. Do you like Kyle Williams over Booty for Dynasty?
I do for long term. I do.
I like Kyle Williams a lot. If you want,
Booty's a pure boundary guy. I just think Kyle offers more to the offense long term.
All right, let's go Kyle Williams and hope and pray that Kamani Vidal finds his way back to us. and he did not.
Yeah, we should have put the game theory there was pretty obvious. We probably should have went Vidal, but it's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, especially with the wide receivers, but it is what it is. Yeah, the running backs just dried up real quick. There's not.
We could
too
throw
many.
a dart at Devin Neal.
Yeah, I like that. You want to go Devin Neal?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Devin Neal, Jarquez Hunter, Hunter Henry, Christian Kirk, Miles Sanders, Terrence Ferguson, Marshawn Lloyd all come off the board. Booty's still there. Troy Franklin. I kind of like either one of those guys for value. Adonai Mitchell, we talked about him. You have a lean.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go Booty or Franklin. I'll defer to you.
Okay, let's go Franklin since we already have Kyle Williams. Not that matters much. So we go Troy Franklin, Theo Johnson, Audric Estime, AJ Barner, Booty goes Isaiah Davis, Cooper Kupp, Christian Watson, Trevor Etienne, Shadur Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, Julian McLaughlin, Kirk Cousins, Bam Knight, Adonai Mitchell, Rashad Bateman, Keandre Lambert Smith, right? Names cut off. Pretty sure that's right. Do you want where is he? Did he already go? Yeah, he already went. Jalen Milroe.
He went.
So your sneaky plan is
it's ruined.
It's ruined.
We basically don't have a quarterback to choose from right now.
I kind of like Mac Jones. What do you think of Mac Jones?
Oh yeah, actually, I do like that. He'll probably get an opportunity next year.
I think he'll be a starter somewhere for sure. Like Russell Wilson, get out of here. He sucks. So we go Mac Jones, Tej Johnson, Malik Washington, Marquise Brown. I can't see that guy in the corner. I'm sure people will just throw a fit. Amir Abdullah, Jordan James,
Terrell Jennings, running back, New England.
Terrell Jennings. Okay. What do you think in here with our 20th round pick?
It's all upside,
how do you feel? Let's go running backs. Nothing. Really?
Gosh.
This very, very.
That's disgusting.
Isaiah Bond.
I don't hate that.
Xavier Legette. Trey Tucker. I think we found the guy, Trey Tucker. Or do you not like? Sure. Okay. 3 touchdowns this year. Look at that. And so our draft analysis is in, and we get an A, and we finish number 2 amongst the simulation. So let's view our full analysis. So we got number 2. So Cinnamon Roll finished 4th. I have no idea how. Because we probably helped them. We prevented them from taking
a couple of bad picks. Yeah,
a couple more than a couple. Yeah, at least a couple. So we go to the expert opinions. Man, Pat Fitzmaurice and Derek Brown really like our team. Joe Pisapia hates our team. Wait a second. I thought Joe liked Emeka Egbuka. Anyway, whatever. Steals and reaches. This doesn't really tell us much. Pick analysis. Oh, so this is like the weird thing where we can redo. It wants us to take Jamar Chase over Justin Herbert, which whatever. Let us know what you think of that. So this is our starting lineup. So we have Justin Herbert, and we would be playing a quarterback. Oh, Dak Prescott. It's right there. Okay, I got confused. Jahmyr Gibbs, TreVeyon Henderson, Rashee Rice, Emeka Egbuka, Luther Burden, Fannin, Quentin Johnston, and then it's saying that Mason Taylor would be our flex. That's debatable, but let's recap the team. We'll give you a little analysis, and then we'll get out of here. Justin Herbert, Jahmyr Gibbs, Emeka Egbuka, Rashee Rice in round 4, Dak Prescott, TreVeyon Henderson, Sam Darnold, Luther Burden, Woody Marks, Jaden Higgins, Harold Fannin Jr., Quentin Johnston, Kyle Monangai, Rashid Shaheed, Mason Taylor, Kyle Williams, Devin Neal, Troy Franklin, Mac Jones, and Trey Tucker. What do you think, man? Did we do a good job here? Or?
I think we did. Some of the later round picks can be debatable, but it's a mock draft, and we're not going to be spending too much of our time trying to waffle between some of these picks. But I really like our structure. to where we could definitely win now. And if we don't win now or in the early going, it's going to be really easy for us to pivot and, find those trades, maybe moving off of Gibbs, moving off of Darnold or Dak Prescott. So I don't think there's no risk baked in here, obviously, but I really like capturing the value we got in like Rashee Rice, TreVeyon Henderson. So I think we did a nice job here.
All right. Much cleaner transition back to the 2-box here. So thank you for watching. Let us know any moves that you would make differently in the startup. Let us know in the comments, and click the like button, subscribe to the channel. You made it this far, you might as well do it. So stay tuned for that. Go ahead and join our Discord. The right link should be in the chat. So if it's not working, let me know. You can just leave a comment or DM me on Twitter. I don't care. You can follow me on Twitter at Seth_Dewald, at Babbage_Matt10 for Matt, and at FF Dynasty Table for the show. Matt Babbage, any final words of wisdom before we get out of here?
A little correction. I said pesticide, that I applied pesticide in my house. I want to be clear. It was insecticide. So it was just to prevent bugs coming in.
Okay.
I don't have, I don't even know necessarily what you do. Oh, that would be for like plants and crops and stuff. I'm not a farmer. No gardens for me. Just trying to prevent crickets. There's so many crickets out here in Texas. It's freaking insane. Trying to prevent those crickets and wasps and spiders. So it's normal stuff. That's it. That's all the wisdom I have.
Yeah, we have ants. And so if anybody has any good tips to get rid of ants in your house, we've used the baits, the ant bait stuff. And that works temporarily.
Sprays should help. They should help with ants and stuff.
Like we've had somebody come and spray the house. Yeah, there's just ants.
My parents like their house was like literally on an anthill, and like no matter what they did, summertime would come and ants would come into the house every now and then. Eventually they got to stop. So like I don't know what they did. Maybe I'll have to ask them what they did to finally get the ants to stop. But it was a problem of ours for like a long time.
Yeah, let me know in the chat, and let me know if you want more insecticide prevention discussion. Maybe we could do a whole show on it. Who knows? What I do know is nobody cares about Aaron Rodgers. And until next time, be good, everyone, and we will see you later.